Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Developing Dallas. So in this episode I'm just going to get a few big players into the team. So we've got Claiborne in there, who is absolutely phenomenal, cornerback. Going to get McLean in as well, another absolutely incredible player, and both 97 rated. And we're also going to get Terrence Williams in. So 3 campus cards, all absolutely insane. As you can see Terrence's stats there. They are disgusting. I mean, he's tall, insane catch in traffic, he's quick, he's got everything a wide receiver needs pretty much. So our wide receiver core now is insane. I mean, we've got Dez Bryant, who, as we all know, is disgustingly good. Terrence Williams, who is very similar to Dez, actually. His stats are only 1 or 2 different in most of the stats. And then we got Dion, who's just an insane vertical threat because of his speed and elusiveness. And he's actually reasonably tall as well. So wide receiver core at the moment, I think it's probably the best it's going to be, besides getting Michael Irving in, who obviously will just be another threat on receiving. But defense here as well, that McLean card is phenomenal. I mean, I'm going to start trying to use her, and I think he will be just disgustingly good to use it with, because he's quick, he's tall, he's got good catching, he's got everything you need for a good user card. Sort of similar to Anthony Barr, who a lot of people love to use as their linebacker as well. He's 1 or 2 inches shorter, I think, but everything else is really similar. So the speed, the height, the catching are all very good. So the team at the moment, as you can see, is 90 rated. I'm going to change a few things around it'll be 91 rated when we get into the games. So that's the highest overall I think I've made a team in sort of one of these one-team building series. So drop a like on the video for that, because I'm really, really stoked to get something going with this team. But I finished the Memorial Day solos as well, and I'm going to see what player I get here. And we actually end up getting a phenomenal pull. We get 99 overall DeMarcus Ware there. And this card looks insane. I mean, look at them stats. There's so many 99s flying around there. They're all in the 90s. All the important stats are high rated. Like play rec for me is something really important. High acceleration, everything there looks disgusting. I'm kind of annoyed he isn't sellable, because I would sell him on. But, I mean, I'm going to use him when I'm not playing with the entire Dallas team, and potentially we could use him in the next series if we do a Broncos series or something like that. But this is the checklist for the team, and you can see I've put a few more check marks off people we've used, people we've put in. I haven't actually managed to get Claiborne onto the list, but I might put him on in the next episode. It's pretty strange to edit this checklist, so I might just leave him off, but we'll know he's in the team. But if you've enjoyed the video up to this point, drop a like on the like button. Let's try and get 15 likes for the Developing Dallas series. Comment down below. I'll put a question of the day down below. Not sure what it'll be yet, but definitely comment on that. I love to interact with you guys, and it's always nice to get the feedback from you guys. And subscribe if you're new, because I'm sure a fair few of you new subscribers haven't seen this series, start to develop yet. But subscribe if you're new. And now, as per usual, we will jump into a game. So guys, jumping into the game here, I've actually got a little highlight of one game to start off with, and then I'll go into more of a full game. But the highlights from this game were it shows how good this team can actually be. So we force a fumble straight from the kickoff. I mean, if something like that happens, that puts the opponent on edge a little bit, I think. And as you can see, I'm using the linebacker here absolutely terribly, but nonetheless, as you guys have requested a lot of times, I'm going to start using the linebacker a bit more. And we get a brilliant pick there from Claiborne. Wasn't sure whether it was just in the end zone or not, so I thought I'd run it out, not risk getting a safety or something like that. And we'll go from there. But first play of the game on offense for me, I'm just going to bomb it deep to Dez. He shouldn't be catching something like that, especially shouldn't be getting a few extra yards afterwards. But that's just the way the game is this year. So if you've got Ultimate Legend Dez Bryant, you're going to abuse him like that. And I'm going to go with 2, big plays early in the game. So he thinks, all this guy's about is lobbing it deep and hoping. But now I'm going to get a little run on the board. And Ezekiel's just going to go straight through the middle. Some brilliant block from, the offensive line. and we managed to get it into the end zone. And at that point, that guy had enough, and he was out of there. But that's how good the team is. 3 plays, and we managed to get from our 7-yard line all the way to the end zone. But second game here, this one was a very, very close game. I mean, this was one of those guys that ran sort of the same play on defense all the time, but it was just one of those sort of plays that didn't have anything obvious open except the flats, and I was trying to abuse the flats where I could, but it just wasn't working a lot of the time for some reason. Sort of Ezekiel Elliott wasn't making it count when it got to the flats. He just wasn't making the good catches that I needed. But over the middle was open for 4 verts. We just needed to get sort of an extra second in the pocket. We managed to get it there, and as you can see, Dez comes up with a phenomenal catch and manages to, give us a chance to get the first down. And I'm just going to fullback dive it through, because getting 2 yards on a fullback dive isn't difficult, especially with the O-line I have. I mean, they're all in the 90s, and they have insane blocking. So getting a few yards is usually doable with a fullback dive. But he was trying to user over the middle, and he wasn't good at it. I mean, he was the same as me at usering. He was a second behind the play. But he forced me to 4th down a fair amount of times just because of the way his defense was. But I knew here, since I was Ezekiel Elliott, if I just run at him and try and truck through him, I'll get the extra yards to get the 4th down there. But I ended up settling for the field goal. It was actually an accident clicking on the field goal there, but I didn't want to waste another timeout. So I thought I'll just take it. I'll go from there, and since there's not a lot of time left, hopefully he won't score. And he goes for a shovel option there straight away. Didn't work whatsoever for him, but I wasn't really sure if he was sort of trying to put me off early on with a play like that. You can't really tell what type of player someone is from something like that. But as you can see, he has some of the big memorial players in. He has Larry Fitz in, who is 99 rated and absolutely phenomenal. But we managed to get a pick there. For some reason, he wasn't abusing Larry Fitzgerald early on, which I'm thankful for, because when he starts abusing him, you'll see how the game turns completely on its head. But the old slant route here, going back to it, because it was working against his defence. I mean, it was one of the things that was working. The middle of the field was always open, and the sides, if you got a few seconds in the pocket, were always open. But, we've pretty much got in the end zone here. He's called a timeout to freeze the game. And I'm just going to QB sneak it in, get that 10-point lead going into the half and make it a 2-possession game. But there's still time for him to bomb his way forward. And as you can see, Larry Fitz over the middle there is absolutely wide open, and he's just going to make a nice grab and go from there. But the problem I was having is you had to double cover him all game. But we get a lovely interception there, and we're going all the way to the end zone with this one. There's no catching him, no matter who you are. Williams is away, and there's 1 second left on the clock, so that's absolutely perfect for us. But I'm going to try an onside kick. Why not just waste a little bit of clock if nothing else? And we actually ended up winning the kick. I mean, you very, very rarely see that. Didn't actually come to anything, but I just thought I'd throw that in there as quite a nice thing you very rarely see. Good read from him there. I mean, my D lineman was closing in on him, and he just managed to dink it over the top of him and get forward. But as you can see, he's starting to abuse Fitzgerald here, which it was stupid why he didn't do it earlier on, because I have nothing for him. I mean, if I double covered him, he sometimes still caught it anyway, but that left the middle wide open. So either way for him, if you have a 7'6" player, it's just an absolute glitch in the game. But as you can see, he's just going to get into the end zone. Like, I was trying to double cover Fitz, and that leaves other parts wide open. So I think I need to get my user in better in that regard. But lovely little spin move there from Ezekiel, and I'm just trying to work my way up the field a little bit, waste a bit of clock. We managed to bring it to the 4th quarter with this punt. So he still needs 2 possessions to get into the end zone, to get back into the game, sorry. And since he's just abusing Fitz, there's not much I can do about it. As you can see, I'm trying to cover him as best as I can. I get caught on the man there, and he's just going to bomb it deep. Wasn't actually to Fitz that time, but fair play to him. He managed to get it. And in 2 big plays in the game, he's managing to get himself back in the game. Lovely little read there. Absolute dot of a throw. And pressure's on now, but there's 2 minutes left in the 4th. I'm down to 4th and 10, and I need to get this play off. So I'm going to go with a classic slant route. I know you guys don't like me using sort of the slant route mesh play all the time, but I needed it there because it was working. Against the defence he had 6 people blitzing most of the game, so that left the middle wide open Because he had 3 deep, I think 6 blitzing, and then just 2 people sort of lingering around the middle areas, going to the wide areas. So the middle was mainly open. But I know I just need to run the clock out here, and he knows that as well. As soon as I get a first down, it's game over. And we actually end up getting the first down here, and more actually. Klutz is just not going down. But that is game over there. So if you guys have enjoyed the video up to this point, smash a like on the like button. Let's try and get 15 likes. Comment down below if you want me to put anyone specific in the team for the next episode. I mean, there's a few players I want to put in, like Michael Irving or something like that. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video.